Fabulous.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. So, welcome to our Just Because 4.0. It's the first time that I'm joining, so I'm quite excited for this. We basically don't have anything planned. We're just going to talk and see what happens and have a little bit of fun. So, if I think that everybody knows who everyone is, but just to be sure, everybody can quickly introduce themselves, and we'll start with Ashley and go around.
Hey, I'm Ashley. I am from the channel Read Now, Sleep Later, and I like to read books.
Oh, is it me?
Yeah, that's always a little bit difficult.
Hey everyone, I'm Andrew from Andrew's Wizardly Reads. I read books and stuff like Steve does, but just less cool. Yeah, sci-fi, fantasy, shenanigans. That's me.
Nice. I'm Steve from Steve Talks About Books and Stuff. I read a lot of books, and I've managed to piss off all the Faithful and the Fallen fans. But I usually enjoy dark fantasy, and horror has kind of been my bag lately. So thank you for hosting, Yulene. These are always fun. So
I'm really
excited. Super excited. This is my first time being live with Yulene.
Yeah,
I was talking about it to her earlier.
It's the first time, and it's actually really fun because I'm always following your channel. I really like just the mood that you have. You're always super excited when you put out a video, so I thought a live is going to be a lot of fun with Andrew.
I try. It can get a little chaotic with me and Ashley together. We did pretty well last time. Like, I didn't fall out of a chair. We didn't do the great cornholio.
I forgot about that.
That's an old 90s TV joke.
Hi, Epic.
What up, Epic?
Hey, Epic.
And who's Team Ruka, by the way?
I didn't start yet.
Hashtag Ruka.
Who's Ruka, by the way?
Oh, Kings of Paradise.
Oh,
are you serious?
I haven't read it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It was before my Grimdark, before I started reading Grimdark. I read the first page, went, nope.
Oh, that's right.
I went, no, thank you.
Hi, Stacey.
Just skip that page. You'll be fine.
I've been told it's not all like that. So it's back on my TBR. Like, Steve talked me, I think it was Steve, convinced me that it's not all like that.
No.
And so it's back on my TBR. I'll get to it eventually. I've got all this crap behind me to read. I say crap, and most of it's amazing, including these 4 books right here.
No comment. But
It's
I will
not
say
grimdark. It's very militaristic, like medieval fantasy. I don't know. Steve invited me to come in for the Wrath just in case there needed to be one positive person on the panel on the series.
Yeah, I think Yulene might be in the middle. Is that fair, Yulene? You're in the middle.
Yeah.
You're not too far.
I think, to be honest, if I would have read them farther apart from each other, I might have liked them better. It's just that for something that I don't typically enjoy, reading one per month was kind of pushing it. And I think that that's what made me not like it. Because if it wasn't for the read along, I would probably read like one every couple of months. And I think that would have been better for me personally. So I'm definitely in the middle.
We can always push Wrath like a few weeks or something if you want.
We could see what the others think as well, but I would be down for that because I have quite a lot of books to get to this month.
Epic's in the chat. It's just and Walker, John. We'll have to talk to him, but I'm sure they won't.
I don't think you'll have any trouble convincing Walker to push it.
Yeah, we can push it like a month or so. Because I have a lot of books to read in the next 3 weeks too. So.
Yeah. I do have a lot of. I think I've got around 200 unread physical copies right now.
Same.
I'm glad you guys are doing worse than me. So,
what's your unread looking like?
Well, I just counted them the other day, and it's 140, which is still quite bad if you realize that I've been buying books for a year now. So it's gotten out of control, and I'm trying to restrain myself. But I just sold my Fateful and the Fallen copies and my Wheel of Time series. So
Do you see this on my wall?
yeah, I'm not your best friend at this moment, I guess.
Is that a wheel?
Yeah.
Oh.
Nice.
You know, that looks like a Mickey Mouse head.
I'm really excited for Bailey to read Ash and Sand. Glad he's enjoying it. And this is weird without Stacy's all booked. It's kind of strange because she's always like here. So I know she's on the road today,
Yeah.
but or she's traveling. So
She can talk and drive. That's not dangerous.
not at all.
Nah, it's perfectly fine.
Oh. Shots fired already, Andrew.
Huh?
Glad I'm not
Shots
the
fired.
only one.
Oh, that's just from Patrick. His opinion is taken with a grain of salt. He's one of my moderators. I love Patrick. Patrick's amazing. Oh, Stacy's here too. Another one of my moderators. All great people.
Yeah, Bailey was kidding earlier about his hate mail. I have been getting hate mail about Fearful and Fallen.
That's crazy.
So
No.
I'm picking up Bloodsong next month. I'm buddy reading it with Walker.
Bloodsong
yeah.
is fantastic.
Really excited for you to pick
That's
it
what
up.
I've been
Really
hearing.
good. Yeah.
What's everybody reading right now? Currently, Tower Lord.
Forgotten Kingdom by Sidney Pike.
I've
It's
never heard of that one.
it's historical fantasy. It's a little bit like Juliette Marillier, has a fairy tale-esque feeling to it. So I don't know if you're into that kind of stuff, but I quite enjoy it.
Probably. I don't know what I'm into. Half the time, I don't even know what I'm into. I see Mirror's Truth,
River
and
of Thieves,
the other one won't come into focus, Steve.
River of Thieves, and
Oh, that's right. I think I saw that on Twitter.
yeah, River of Thieves and Crossroads. It's a novella, so
Okay.
not too bad.
I'm currently reading Senlin Ascends. In another room, I've got Dragonbone Chair, which actually I think you'll like, Steve, because it's a precursor to Grimdark. It's written by Tad Williams, and it's got really beautiful prose. And then I'm also reading book 4 in the Nightmare Land Chronicles, The Flashlighters, which is a novella. It's like 116 pages.
Hey,
Pete! Hold on. If Pete's here,
keep just. Oh, you freaked me out there for a minute.
What's going to happen?
I was like, what's happening?
my wizard hat. Pete sent me a wizard hat.
Oh,
Oh,
nice.
that's so nice.
Wow, you're
Can't see.
busy.
The,
Court of
the un-
Wings and Ruin, Kings of
Is that the
Paradise,
third one?
yeah.
Christina Lauren,
I'm really bad at this.
and A Sickness in the Family.
Yeah, but the Unhoneymooners is a placeholder for the Vampire Smut that I'm reading.
Vampire smut, you say?
Cool. Yeah, it's pretty dumb, but it's
Oh, I didn't know
It's
I had to do
nice.
this.
Ooh, that's nice.
Can I flip it up in the back? Yeah, no, that looks dumb.
Captain Andrew. Arg.
Hard.
Arg.
I read
But
Dune,
is
this month.
fantastic.
Yes. We agree on that, Andrew. I really like Dune.
I loved it. It was weird when I read Mike turned me on to Dune last year, and I tried Dune and I had a busy TBR, and it was I didn't like it, so I put it down, and then I waited until the next month, and I read it as the last book on that monthly TBR, and I had nothing else vying for my attention, and I fell in love with it. It was so good. I'm actually reading Messiah. I'm picking back up the series and doing one a month.
That's the second one? Or
Yeah, Messiah is book 2. And I'm doing one a month for the next 5 months to finish out all the Frank Herbert books.
I
Dragon
definitely-
Bone Chair.
Yes,
I
yes.
do we have that one? It's the first one in the Memory, Sorrow, and Thorn
Memory,
series?
Sorrow, and Thorn.
I have that on my TBR, but didn't get to it.
Grim Oak Press is who does all the printings for Michael J. Sullivan, Age of Legends, and they print all of Michael J. Sullivan's books, which the latest one is Nolan. They're doing a special printing of Memory, Sorrow, and Thorn next year, but it's going to be super expensive because they're like special illustrated editions signed by the author and the illustrator. So like the bear books are like $150. I'm thinking of shelling out for them because I've got them in like mass market paperback and they're absolutely dying and falling to pieces. And the original hardcovers are like on eBay, they're asking like $35 to $75 for these tatty acceptable copies for the hardbacks, which is just breaking my heart. Or I could just be a reasonable human being and get them in the mass market paperback again for $8. Yes, Pete, the hat. Sorry, I feel like I'm not shutting up. You can tell me to shut up.
I feel like mass market is like one of those where you have to literally, like the one I'm reading now is mass market. You have to like get in there, like right here in the very crease of the book.
Yeah.
It's annoying, but it's okay.
Oh, Pete, how was Empire of Black and Gold? I literally haven't started it yet, but it's on my stack.
That's by Adrian Tchaikovsky?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Here's my stack for the rest of the month. Where's my? Oh, I lied.
We're
It's
reading,
not my stack for the rest of the month.
I was gonna say that looks really thin. It was like 3 times that size a few days ago.
I pushed one of the books, just for mental health issues. I had a death in my family. I think I told you that, Steve.
Yeah. Sorry to hear that.
So I haven't. There we go. That's what I got left.
Priory.
Golden Fool.
Dude, Fool's Errand was. I cried. I actually cried my own tears.
And you don't normally do that with books?
No, I am not a crier when I read.
I'm a big crier, so it wasn't a surprise.
Stacey,
But I
it's
cried.
a reread for me as well. I read Memory Star and Thorns 5 years ago.
And Stacy, how do you like The Blinding Knife? I hear a lot about Brent Weeks. I was curious about him.
Oh, that's a Lightbringer.
Mm-hmm.
I have the first one, but I haven't read them yet. Heard some mixed things, that it starts really well and then goes a little bit downhill.
Yeah, I DNF'd it well before book 2, before I knew what DNFing was. I DNF'd at book 2 because I got sidetracked, but I've got them on audio, so I may give them another shot.
Yeah, audio is always good just to give books a try because you can do other stuff anyway. So
Yeah, that's literally audio this month, and then I'm doing audio for these 2 this month. Simon Vance is the narrator, I think, for the Iconoclasts, and I love Simon Vance. And literally, I actually just purchased The Emperor's Blades on audio as well because Simon Vance is the narrator.
Oh.
Like, I didn't need it. I was going to read these in physical, and then I saw Simon Vance was the narrator, and I was like, gimme.
They are so good. I really enjoyed them.
Have you read them already?
Yes. It's one of my favorite darker series at this point.
It's been on my TBR for like 5 months at this point. I think I bought these pre-book 2, and I still haven't gotten to them. I keep just kicking them down the road because I keep signing up for buddy reads.
Yeah, same.
It's a sickness.
Ooh, Stacey's enjoying it.
Oh, good.
Which book is that about?
Lightbringer 2?
Oh. I want to read the first one.
Yeah.
Sounds
And
good.
for this one, what's the book that made you finally cry? I'm intrigued. Oh,
I've not read Night Angel. I heard it was a little more YA. That's what I got told, and it turned me off the series. I read very, very little YA.
you're going to cry with each book, Brandy. If you already cried with Assassin's Apprentice, it only gets worse.
Assassin's Apprentice was the nice one.
Yeah.
Now I definitely don't want to read them.
Oh, you really
I've got
need
an upcoming tag where like literally, I've already filmed and uploaded it. I think it'll be out like in the next week or so. But each Robin Hobb book, at least with Fitz, is like just a gut punch. multiple times. Like she just uses Fitz as a punching bag. Oh yeah, Wrath.
I know what you're talking about, I think. Oh no, Rat is the last one.
Yeah,
Last
Wrath
one.
is the last one.
Oh, I thought he was talking about Ruin. I would understand why you cry in Ruin as well.
I'm gonna keep my mouth shut, guys.
I will say that I think what we're all talking about, I won't spoil it, but that was well done.
It was
I'll give it
super
that.
well done.
That was well done.
I really enjoyed the ending of that book.
Yeah.
The last 100 pages were very well done.
Oh
See, we're positive. It's positive.
yeah,
You can say nice things.
this does my soul good.
Yeah, he did. That was good.
How is Mirror's Truth, Steve?
Yulin and I just started it today. We had a reading sprints for it, but I love that world and I really loved Beyond Redemption. And so yeah,
Mirror's
it's
Truth is book
bonkers.
2, right?
Yeah. And Yulin is hosting that discussion with Michael R. Fletcher on her channel in 2 weeks.
Yeah, I think the 22nd of August.
Yeah, I did talk to him today, and he said he's still good to go for that. So
Oh, that's nice.
You know,
Yeah.
Nico
Yeah.
was making music with Fletcher, right?
no, I didn't know that.
Yeah, Nico. So I guess like Fletcher's got a background in making music, but he doesn't do vocals. And Nico doesn't do instruments, but he used to be part of like a death metal band. And
That's
it's
cool.
funny because when you're listening to it, you're like, "That's not Nico. Nico's this soft-spoken, nice guy," and it's and I'm just like,
Really?
"Whoa." It's really cool. I think it's on the music is on Fletcher's YouTube channel.
Yeah, I was listening to it. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
was
that's Nico.
Oh, wow, that's cool. Right on. That's
Funny.
neat.
Yeah,
What's
it
the
says
quiet ones
Nico's
you have to
by
look out
vocals by Nico Salazzo. That's Nico.
Oh, I didn't even put it together.
Yeah.
Would have never guessed.
I need to look that up. I haven't watched his channel yet. Shame.
Nico?
No, Nico I've seen, but it's Fletcher that I haven't.
It
I
doesn't.
didn't-
He doesn't push it very much. I think it's got like 85 subscribers or something like that. He doesn't. He just kind of generally just uploads stuff to it for the fun of it.
That's
And yeah,
nice.
the Tower Lord discussion is tomorrow too. It's on your channel, right, Yulin? Tower Lord?
Yeah, I still need to set it up.
Yeah.
But it's on my channel.
StreamYard, it's like 5 minutes. You're good to go.
Yeah, so I just need to make the thumbnail, but that's also not that difficult.
Do
I
you
should
use
be
Canva?
fine. Yeah, it's like the free version that I use, but it can do enough for me. The only thing that I still can't do is like cut myself out. I have a huge problem with that, and I tried a million things, and
Here.
I can still see like parts
Uh-oh.
that are really annoying. I think we lost him.
Did you see that video?
What are you using?
Canva.
Oh yeah.
Do you use that one as well?
Mm-hmm. I go back and forth between Adobe, like the free
Oops.
Adobe, and then I move it over to Canva and do like graphics and stuff over in Canva.
It helps if I click in the right thing. Have you tried using this? I put it in the private chat. Oh, rude.
Tough one.
Rude. I love
Oh
it.
yeah,
It's so
I
funny.
think that's the set that Epic had in his video, the remove background. If you use, there's a video I posted on the forums. I don't know if
Yeah.
you've seen that, Yulin. That worked out pretty good.
I have it on my watch later, but at this point, my watch later is being buried by a lot of stuff.
Yeah. And Bailey, I have to agree. I've never cried while reading a book. There's some movies that get me, but no books yet.
Unnatural.
This
Oh, yeah.
one. This one right here.
Like
I haven't
Shawshank
cried in a
Redemption.
while. Oh man,
Someone's cutting onions at the end of Shawshank Redemption every time.
the Green Mile had me bawling.
And
I don't watch a lot of movies anymore. I literally watched my first movie in probably 3 months last night.
what'd you watch?
Suicide Squad.
We're watching that tonight.
Oh, don't watch it with your kids.
Okay. And
That
Stacey-
R rating is well earned.
Is it?
Yeah.
Stacy, that Paint 3D is the video I posted because
Oh,
it seems and it's free with Windows. So
I tried it, and
Oh, did
I
you
don't
try
know if it's just that I don't have the patience to do it, But like when I'm holding books here, this part doesn't cut away, and I try to the entire time, and it keeps either my entire arm is cut off, or like the entire background is still on it. So
Have you
maybe I
tried-
need to be a little bit more patient.
Have you tried the remove.bg?
No, I haven't tried that yet.
Go ahead and give that a try. It literally does it all automatically. Occasionally, it'll like do a little bit by my glasses or like a finger that like I just have to kind of go in and remove.
Mm-hmm.
But I'd say about 80% of the time, even if I'm holding books, the AI that it uses will recognize that I'm holding something and it'll cut out everything but me and the books.
Oh, okay. Need to give that one a try then. Hadn't heard about that because I've tried a couple, but okay.
It literally took a couple seconds like that. And then like you can also, it's got a blur feature. So like if you want to leave your background in, you can just blur it out, or you can put like free, like colored or like cityscapes or whatever, Starry Night, what have you.
Ooh,
That's cool.
that's nice. Catcher in the Rye, I haven't read that one yet.
I haven't read a lot of classics.
Yeah, same. It's shameful, but
I read it a long time. I really loved it when I read it like in high school, but
This makes me want to read Count of Monte Cristo, which is like the original OG revenge story. This book is dark. Actually, I think you would like this, Steve.
Strife.
Winds of Strife.
Yep, Winds of Strife.
It is.
The darkness is like it delves into like abuse and revenge and how far are you willing to go for like to get that revenge. It deals with just emotional, physical, and just like the magic system is emotion based. Like you can break into somebody's mind and control their emotions and make them do what you want, or like you can like reflect that outwardly. Like calm, if you're calm, then you're like untouchable, but you can't do harm as well. It's really, really interesting magic system.
That sounds interesting. And
Staying
what's the
on
name?
It's called Winds of Strife by U.G. Gutman.
Cool.
Yuri's awesome. You can find him on Twitter as well, I think.
Oh, okay,
Yeah, you can
cool.
find Yuri on Twitter.
I will check that out.
I need somebody to regulate my emotions for me.
After reading this, you might not want them to.
Yeah, true story.
Like the main character Nye, basically like something happened, and so he joined a bunch of a witch hunters guild to take them down from the inside. But in order to do that, he had to become a witch hunter, and so like he became what he hated to seek revenge, and so he literally has to kill hundreds of witches, which it's crazy.
That's what you should have led with first, witches.
You had me at Strife.
Strife. And it's indie pub as well, so that I know you guys like the indie scene as well.
Yeah, I'm a fan of it.
I think my review is either out or coming out for it. No, it's coming out.
How many videos ahead are you? Just out of curiosity.
I
how
am
far
usually
ahead?
5 videos ahead.
Wow. So like 2 weeks, give or take.
1 week. I do 4 videos a week.
Oh, you're up to 4. I thought you did 3.
I
That's
was
crazy.
at 3, and I've been at 4 for about 2 months.
Really? I
Yeah.
thought you were at 3. Oh, wow.
I do a general video on Monday. I do a book review on Wednesday, a tag on Thursday, and then another book review on Friday.
Wow.
I completely agree with Brandy and Stacy, by the way. Steve, you need to get to it. You have the first book in your home. What's your
Yeah.
excuse?
Yeah, Pete,
just-
Pete agrees with Winds of Strife. It's really dark.
It's always nice when authors communicate.
I love Yuri. Yuri's a really great guy. Literally, like, I left a Goodreads review, and he pinged me just thanking me for it. I'm just like, Yuri, like, this is what I do, but, I mean, I really appreciate your gratitude. I'm thankful you wrote an awesome book. Like, that's what I'm thankful for.
Those reviews go a long way, so it helps out, especially indie authors.
Yeah.
It helps them out a lot. And I wouldn't mind Assassin's Apprentice. It's just how many books is that series? Like 17 or something crazy.
16.
Yeah, 16.
A lot.
So it's Realm of the Elderlings. What it is it's 3 trilogies and a quartet, but they're all self-contained stories. So like Farseer is, and again, if I'm talking over anybody, you can tell me to shut up. Farseer is from when he's like 4 to 21, and then it jumps to Live Ship Traders, which is it follows a separate cast, but it's still connected, and that's set 2 years after Farseer. And then you come back to the Tawny Man trilogy, which is set, I think, 10 years after that. And it follows Fitz again for 4 or 5 years. And then you go to the Rain Wilds, which is kind of adjacent to where Live Ship was for 4 books. And that's considered the weakest quartet of the Realm of the Elderlings. But it's like still really good from what I've heard, because I haven't read it yet, so I can't offer commentary. And then it resolves with Fitz and the Fool, which is, I believe, the end of their life. When they're in like their 50s and 60s or something like that.
Yeah.
And Yolene can confirm or deny most of this.
It's really good. I think that we're around the same, because you're going to start Golden Fool.
Yes.
I finished Fool's Fate, I think, last month. So we're around at the same time. I just finished the Tawny Man trilogy, and it's really good. It's also, I feel like the Tawny Man trilogy is going to be a little bit like a bridge between the different parts of the world, like Live Ship Traders and Farseer. So I really like that. And the good thing is, I usually dislike very long series because it sometimes drags, but because she cut it up into smaller pieces that have a beginning and an ending, it didn't feel that way. And you can easily read the first trilogy, wait a couple of months, and then start the second one. You don't really have to keep reading them, because otherwise you lose track, which sometimes with bigger series can happen.
Yeah. It definitely feels like you're reading a trilogy instead of a like 16 book slog. I suggest taking breaks because they are gut punches.
Yes.
And also, if you read Live Ship before Tawny Man, which you totally should, because they tie together really well. They are big, heavy, chunky books.
Chunky.
That hurt.
Yeah, actually, you really need to start reading it as well, because you will like it. I know you will cry, but you will like it.
Like on a scale from like 1 being okay, like no tears, to 10 being just completely bedridden because I'm so sad, where would you say that would be? At least the
7.
first book.
I'm a big crybaby, so for the first trilogy, I just read them physically, but I think the ending of, I think the third one, but definitely in the second one as well, I had to stop because I was crying too hard, so I couldn't read. And then the Tawny Man trilogy, I was listening to an audiobook, so I was driving my car, and there I also had to stop because I was crying too hard and I couldn't see where I was driving. So 10 probably. Some of the moments are a 10, but then it's also very wholesome in a way. So it's not like it's depressing the entire time. I feel like a lot of people keep mentioning that a lot, and it feels like there's nothing other than that. There's a lot of wholesome moments as well.
Yeah.
It's really beautifully written as well.
Wow. Way of Kings, we still need to get to that one.
Way of Kings is that book 1? Yeah, that's book 1. Okay. All right. Yeah, Way of Kings is. I'm waiting for. I still need to read Arcanum Unbounded.
Same.
I haven't. I've barely read any of it. I think the only short stories set in there. Like I need to read Emperor's Soul. I need to read. I don't know. I need to read Secret History. Before the release of Mistborn Era 2 Book 4.
It's coming close, huh?
Yeah, I think it'll be out like first quarter next year or mid next year, depending how long they edit him. Because I think he was 70% done last week. Safina! I love Safina.
Yes, she's so supportive.
Yeah, Safina is absolutely fantastic. Actually, when I saw her comment on Patrick's video for the shout out today, I went to say hi to Safina. That was.
Yeah, I saw that.
I was floored. It was funny. I was driving to pick up balloons from a party store, and I just happened to be at a stoplight, and I saw my email notifications going, "You have a subscriber. You have a subscriber." I'm like, "What's going on?"
Patrick is the best.
Patrick's amazing. I've been following him for I think since his BookTube channel was at 1,000 subscribers, and it was very, very. It made my week, made my month, what have you. I'm still giddy about it.
Yeah, I can understand. So nice. Yeah, Steve, because you're I think that Ashley is also joining for the no. You don't like it.
I was considering it, but maybe we'll see.
Depends on when you are starting it. I've got all 8 of the Dark Tower, but I was planning on 2022.
Yeah, we're starting this month. I'm going to start it next week.
Oh, then it's a no.
Next week.
Are you including Wind Through the Keyhole?
Yes. All 8 books for the next 8 months.
2 of those months will be really easy. The rest, I wish you luck. Because Wind Through the Keyhole is about gunslinger length.
Yeah.
Or is it winds or wind? The wind through the keyhole. I had it wrong both ways. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, I couldn't get into the first one. And at this point, I don't know if I want to commit myself to a pretty long series. So...
Yeah, well, I hear the first book is the worst, is what I keep hearing. I'll just stick with it.
I like Gunslinger. I don't know. I last time I read it, I was in high school. I don't know. And yes, Safina, I am very excited for the Wheel of Time series. Once again, the wheel weaves as the wheel weaves.
I am going to watch this series because I am hopeful for that one. I just didn't like the books. The covers are great.
That's all Wheel of Time.
Yeah, the sad thing is I have the first 9. And then the prequel, and the covers are so beautiful that I didn't want to sell them. But then I thought, well, I'm never going to read them. I need to just do it.
Did you have the UK Orbit books, the trade paperbacks?
I have the same as you, I think. It's the hardcovers with the really beautiful
US
art.
hardcovers?
Mm-hmm.
I noticed recently somebody, I think it was on Twitter, somebody posted the UK Orbit editions, and there's actually a wheel that goes through all of the spines when they're all lined up, and I was just like, oh, that's so cool.
That's nice. Don't trouble yourself with the book speed.
Hey! I'm right here, all the way across the world, listening to you.
All the way across the world.
Honestly, I've been reading it since I was 13, so I love Wheel of Time.
Yeah, I know there are a lot of fans, so there must be something there. But I do think that the endings are always very explosive and very good. Yeah. That's why I continued reading, because each ending I was thinking, oh, I need to read the next book. But then the first 3/4 of it were, very difficult for me to get through. But I can definitely see that it's something special.
How far did you make it into the series before you DNF'd it?
The first 4. And I think that most people said, like, if you don't like it by the 4th book, it's not going to happen.
Yeah, no. It's not going to happen for you.
I wanted to pick up the 5th one, but it started with the Ajas, and I couldn't care less about those. So after the first page, I was like, nope.
The series probably isn't to your taste then.
Yeah, you can't like everything, I suppose.
Yeah, we're Gunslinger is this month, and then next month is the second book. I forget the title, but
that's probably the drawing of the 3.
Yeah,
sounds about right.
So it's going to be a long journey.
So I'll be back in a moment.
Yes. Okay, the next person who says book has to take a drink. Okay, one of you, either one, you have to take a drink.
Of what?
Or if you mention Brandy Sandy, I swear.
Who's Brando Sando?
You don't know who Brandy Sandy is?
Oh, I know who Brandy Sandy is. I call him Brando Sando.
No.
Oh,
Is anybody, Steve, have you heard of Cradle? The Cradle series?
I think so.
They're very much like, it's like Dragon Ball Z, but in book form, but like with more like Asian inspiration and manners. And I love it. I absolutely, and they're really short, quick reads. They're not super dark though, so there is that. So I don't know if you would love them, but I love the Cradle books.
I don't mind.
Yeah, Epic.
I don't
Epic
mind.
backs me up. Cradle is awesome.
Yeah, if Epic likes it, then I'll probably like it. But I don't
Stacey
mind.
says that I did say book, and I will say book again. To say book, but unfortunately, my bourbon's all the way upstairs, and frankly, if I walk by my child's room and she starts screaming, it's just not going to be worth it.
It's game over.
Actually, I can hear my child currently chastising my wife.
How old
They're
is she?
making noises at each other.
So cute.
It's my fave.
Yeah, with me, the dogs are probably going to start barking because my husband is coming home. So
What
they
time
are
is it
always
there?
super excited. It's a little bit over midnight. We
Oh, wow.
started at midnight, but I'm always super scared when I'm home alone. So I lock like all the doors. So I had to open 5 locks for him to just be able to come in. So he called like,
Oh,
I'm going to mute myself.
And Yulene, I know you just muted yourself, but I'm curious, how is crime in Belgium? Is it comparable to America, or how is crime there? Oh, she has to get up.
She was refusing to answer the question.
No comment.
No comment. It's near midnight. Yeah, the 6-hour time difference. It's 6:30 here.
I just put them outside. Crime is like nothing here. I live in a super small village, so we have a gate, and we usually don't even lock the doors because it's super safe and we leave the windows open. But it's just when I'm home alone, I'm afraid of ghosts. It's not of crime or anything like that.
Yeah, let's lock the doors. The ghosts can't pass through the wall.
Yeah.
Hey, logic.
shall not enter.
I got this from somebody in my Discord. It's Red Rising. You've got Mustang, Severo, and Darrow. It came in like their Illumicrate box. I love it.
Well, it's nice of someone to send that to you.
Yeah, it's Kate Coy, actually. I think she's got a BookTube channel. Yeah, she does.
Oh,
She
cool.
just started a BookTube channel. And I was super happy that she sent that to me.
I'm assuming you liked Red Rising.
Yeah, no, those are right here. You can kind of see the tops of them.
Yeah. I have it, but I haven't started it yet because I'm trying to decide whether or not I'm going to do the audiobook because it's like a full cast.
I thought it was full cast for the sequel trilogy, and it was just Tim Gerald Reynolds for the first 3.
What?
I could be wrong there, because the first 3 are single POV, and then it expands into a multiple cast with Iron Gold.
Oh. I don't know. It's on my library.
Yeah, so Stacy says the first 3 audios are just Tim Gerald Reynolds.
Dang. Okay.
Don't say dang, Tim Gerald Reynolds is legit awesome.
I like the audio.
Stacy can confirm.
Confirmed.
Anybody read Ember Blade by Chris Wooding?
I want to because I've heard amazing things, but I haven't yet.
Oh, I love this book. Even when people don't agree with me being like the best book that I've read this year, they still give it like a 4 out of 5. So, I mean, I really, really love this book. If you liked Lord of the Rings, you'll probably like this one. It's got a lot of like similar themes. And like I was listening to listening and reading because I haven't read this because it's a monster. And there were just certain scenes that jumped out at me, and I was just like, it feels familiar. But it's not a clone, so it's fresh and original enough that I really, really enjoyed the Ember Blade. Not enough people are talking about it.
I think it's tough in fantasy to be original and new.
Yes!
I added it because of you. I watched one of your videos and I was like, okay, I'm going to read that one.
I will warn you, the teenage boys are teenage boys.
Bye.
Bye.
Yeah, and I agree with you, Steve. I think that's why I like grimdark, because it is a little bit maybe a newer genre or a sort of subgenre that I haven't read a lot of yet. So that's why it still feels very new.
Yeah.
And I think you can do more wild stuff with it. It's, yeah, do the unpredictable, I guess.
Has anybody read the Drenai by David Gemmell? Is it Gemmell or Gemmell?
I say Gemmell, but I don't know.
Gemmell, okay. I've heard it pronounced both ways, and when somebody said Gemmell, I kind of just went and looked at it. It was like, it could be Gemmell. Is it GIF or GIF? Like,
GIF.
I say GIF.
Agree.
GIF.
But yeah, Legend, which is the first book, publication order-wise, not chronological, in Drenai, is accredited to being one of the precursors to Grimdark. And so, like, I've got a review out for it if you want to go see it, but I can drop it in chat later.
Oh, yeah,
but like, it explores the themes of humanity and desperation and things like that, and like what people will do. It's not a perfect book because it's only 320 pages, and really it should have probably had around like 400 to 420 to really flat. Like there's a group of people who can do prophecies, and sometimes they'll do a prophecy, and then the prophecy happens on the next page. Like the resolution it's like it just needed a little bit more page length to kind of, or like maybe some reshuffling. I don't know. But other than that, like I really, really enjoyed it. And I've actually bought the next 6 books in Drenai. I just haven't been able to read them.
Wow.
If it's like the start of Grimdark, and I think that Glenn Cook, is that his name?
Glenn Cook is you've got the Black Company, you've got David Gemmell. There's a few ones who are accredited with like starting the trend of like really introducing those themes. Yeah. I didn't Narsil, I don't know if you guys know Narsil. He's one of the moderators in the Discord as well, because I apparently got a lot of moderators. And he pointed out to somebody that Ted Williams' Memory, Sorrow, and Thorn starts approaching those themes of Grimdark. And I was like, no, I've read Memory, Sorrow, and Thorn. But it had been like 5 years, and so I'm like rereading it going, oh, okay, I can see it. Because it helped inspire A Song of Ice and Fire. Like, yeah, George R.R. Martin has gone on record saying that Tad Williams helped inspire certain themes within A Song of Ice and Fire. Personally, I think Memory, Sorrow, and Thorn is better.
Oh, okay, that's very high praise. I love A Song of Ice and Fire, so...
I like the Game of Thrones. I watched the TV series, but I realized how many books were in the actual book series, and I kind of had a panic attack.
Only 5.
There's only 5. Well,
Yeah.
so I got one of his mass paperbacks. I was like, okay, I'm going to do this. Like, I'm going to sit there and read. I read the first page, and I was like, I'm a dumb shit. I didn't get any of that. I have no idea what's happening. So...
To be honest, as much as I love the series, I never really recommend it because there are so many great series that will have an ending or are already finished. And this one, I've lost all faith. And it's not that I hold it against him that much, but it's just the way it is.
Yeah.
Personally, I think he's lost his passion for it.
He has so many other things to do that, and it's been so long.
He's got so many irons in the fire. And I mean, he's got Elden Ring. He's working on a video game with FromSoft right now. He's got the new TV. I don't know if he's involved in the new TV show.
I think so. At least his name is. I don't know if he is.
Yeah, he's got other series that, like, he's got sci-fi. He writes sci-fi. He writes so many other series. He did the Egg and Dunk, which is a prequel. Egg and Dunk? which is prequel to A Song of Ice and
It's
Fire.
about those two. Yeah.
But I think it was like for a younger audience. I don't think it was as dark.
No, it's also not as epic. You just follow those two characters, small adventures.
So he's got those going on. I think we'll get, what is it? Winds of Winter?
Winter? Yeah.
Winds of Winter is the next one that's coming out.
If it ever does. Yeah.
But I mean, and with the TV show getting I think also he needs time for the ending of the show to cool down and for people to kind of forget about it.
You mean Abomination? Is that what you mean?
Yeah, reactions like that are probably why.
But yeah, the thing is, you always get the discussion of, do authors really owe us anything? And I don't think so, but you do if you're going to say, like, if I don't give you a book by the end of the year, you can put me in jail. Then you really raise expectations. Don't say things like that if you're not going to really do it. Otherwise, I'm like, stuff can happen, life can happen, and I wouldn't hold it against them, but then don't say something like that.
And yes, Stacy, there's actually currently a read-along for Memory, Sorrow, and Thorn in my Discord.
And you're
started
reading
this
the
month.
first book, or okay, I can't put it in. I was thinking like, maybe I can join, but it's not.
We're doing it over 4 months, mainly because the third book is one of the largest books ever written. It was funny. I was talking with. Do y'all know Kate, the literary apothecary?
Mm-hmm.
I think I've seen her.
Amazing. And she was just like, I think one of the Outlander books is bigger than To Green Angel Towers. And I was like, well, you're correct on page length, but let's look up the word count. Remember, Green Angel Tower had 19,000 words on it. And that Outlander book's 1,400 pages.
I think I just read in Kings of Paradise. Like, that's nowhere near how many are Kings of Paradise, but I think he said, oh, geez, I don't know. I'm going to have to look it up now.
Word count in, I think it was like 350,000 words in To Green Angel Tower.
200 and some odd thousand words for Kings of Paradise.
520,000. Excuse me, I was wrong.
I'm sorry, Yolene. This is probably not helping. It's a great book. It is so good.
I was just going to ask you how far you are now after the sprints.
Not too much, because then I switched to my vampire spicy
Vampire
stuff.
smut.
Vampire smut. Listen, after reading about somebody's jaw becoming unhinged, I need some sexy time in my life. I need to read about it. I need it absorbed into my bloodstream, so then I can carry on with the chaos that is this book. So that's my TED Talk.
No shame here.
I looked it up. It's 520,000 words for To Green Angel Tower.
That's a lot. 62 hours on audio.
Yeah, audio is 62 hours for it.
Or
Chapter 9, that's like 1/5 of the book, maybe?
I won't touch Outlander. Nope.
62 hours.
Yeah, and then Tad Williams broke that record. He's actually finishing up he took a 20-year break between Memory, Sorrow, and Thorn, and he's now been writing. Do I have those books upstairs? Yeah, I do. The Last King of Ostenard, set in the same world, following the characters grown up after 20 years later. And he just finished the third book in that, and the publisher was like, nah, you're splitting that in two. We're not publishing that in one giant volume.
It needs to be a big old tome, just huge, as big as like law.
Be like one of those family Bibles.
It'd be like a Sanderson book. Is it bigger than
Come
a
read the
Sanderson
family
book?
fantasy book. Make sure to leave your name in the front page.
You know, I think that the only thing that rivals fantasy books as far as page count is textbooks. I'm not lying. The amount of pages and the amount of just girth that I have for my law textbook.
Listen, you said vampire smut and then girth. And
all right, I'm good. Minnie Mouse is back there to keep me accountable, so it's not working.
Yeah. Minnie Mouse is back there judging you.
That's a look of judgment.
Yeah.
That is my stripper name, actually, JB. I forgot to tell you. I trademarked it.
Speaking of JB, he did release his new book's cover today. It looks awesome.
I couldn't
haven't
find
found
it.
I saw that he tweeted about it, I think.
Did he? I think I followed JB on Twitter.
Looks
Or was
really
it
good.
another author? I saw somebody say that he had the cover for the second book.
If I don't follow him on Twitter, I'm about to.
You are correct, Pete. History, philosophy, and fantasy.
I have some pretty thick science book as well, but yeah, you don't have to read everything, so that's cheating.
I just saw your tweet, Ashley. I was already on here.
You're late.
I just responded.
So I have a
I
question.
even tagged you. Oh, sorry.
I was sitting. I was driving home. I spent the day at the lake,
Louise.
kayaking.
Are you for real? Do you want to die today?
Are you talking to Donald Duck?
No.
I wasn't following JB. That has been corrected.
No. Donald Duck is in the bedroom.
Okay, so I have a question for the chat. I have a question for everyone in the chat. A serious question. So, if a book is hyped on BookTube or YouTube or Goodreads or whatever, does that make you more or less likely to try it?
More.
If it is all positive, does that make you more or less likely?
Oh, even if it's not positive, if it's like negative, that's what I actually used to always read was hyped up books. I started reading again back in 2016 by looking up hyped books on YouTube.
For me, it depends on who's doing the hyping.
That's
What if
honestly,
What if everyone is hyping it?
Then I don't trust it. If everybody is hyping it, we don't all have the same reading
I
taste.
would probably
so
still
either
pick it up, depending on the premise.
Yeah.
I mean,
If everybody's hyping it, it's either got to be the greatest book of our time, or it's just recency bias. Yeah. I don't know. I don't listen to a lot of hype. I read things as I can, and we just lost
You
Yolene.
lost the host.
Yeah. Don't worry, we've taken over her channel now. We are now the
good
host of this
evening.
channel.
so
Oh, she's back. I mean, hi. We weren't trying to stage a coup.
Yeah, I saw you.
She was testing us.
wasn't me.
I failed. I like a lot of underhyped books. Like, there are certain people, if they say a book is good, I'll listen to them. A lot of people like, and there are some people I watch just for their negative reviews, because if they give it a negative review, I know I'm going to love the book. Because our tastes are the exact opposite.
That's fair.
I'm the exact opposite of Stacy, probably. If people hype it up because of the characters, I'm going to pick it up, no matter the plot.
Yeah.
But I can also understand that.
Whenever I see a bunch of reviews, especially on Goodreads, that say I received this book for free for an honest review, and they're all 5 stars, a huge red flag for me.
I remember joining BookTube, and I don't know if Julian loves this book. I don't remember. Going Around was Name of the Wind.
Oh, I love it.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
Yep. I added that book like 5 years ago. I can't even remember. It was a long time
Everybody
ago.
was telling me how great Name of the Wind was, and I didn't get it. I did not understand. And then I got so mad at Wise Man's Fear. I made it 50% in, just shut the book and walked away.
Oh, by Patrick
Rothfuss.
Rothfuss. So
His prose is good, but I can get beautiful prose from Tad Williams and a completed story.
Yes, Pete.
hey Siri,
I agree.
put down Ted Williams.
Ted
Yeah.
Williams played for the Boston Red Sox. in
No,
the
not that one.
No, you didn't.
Yeah,
Serious
exactly,
concern.
JB. That worries me. When there's like 1 or 2 stars and a bunch of 5s that say, "I received this book for free for an honest review."
That especially. If you have a lot of people who got it for free from the author and then give 5 stars and they don't say anything negative, I mean, even if I completely love a book, I'm able to say, I don't think that this is for people who dislike this, this, and this. Because it's not going to be for everyone. So if you can't say a single negative, but I would probably still give a book that I really enjoy 5 stars. It basically depends what you think is a 5 star. 5 star for me isn't this is perfect. It's for me, it's perfect. But I can still see its flaws. I just don't care.
Yeah.
And this could be a little dangerous, but I've already done a review for it, so my thoughts are out there. The most recent one I can think of would be Breach of Peace. I remember when Breach of Peace dropped by Daniel Green, it was 5 stars across the board. And then if you waited 2 weeks, all of a sudden those ratings started coming down.
Well, I think part of that is people were in a rush to get the reviews out because everyone was looking for the reviews. So that may be part of it. I think the excitement for books, for bigger books, and maybe that changes perspective a little bit.
Yeah, maybe. I gave it 3 stars. I mean, it was a solid first entry for an indie author.
Is it pretty religious heavy? Because I heard that it was based off of.
No. No, and I wouldn't necessarily call it. I could have easily seen that book being set in a weird episode of Star Trek.
Oh, that's all you had to say. I mean,
Like they're like, oh, the gods came down to Earth, and all of a sudden technology like sped up. It sounds like Star Trek to me.
Yep.
There wasn't really a whole lot of. You don't really get to see the magic system. It was more gore and horror than like grimdark for me.
Breach of Peace, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I didn't get grimdark from it. It was just gross.
That's shocking. I didn't associate him with those words, grim or
Dark.
gore. Yeah.
There was a whole bunch of controversies around it.
Oh, really? I didn't even know. Man.
Didn't he-
I've seen some of those things. Yeah, that it's grim dark a little bit, but
I don't think it falls under grimdark. That's my opinion.
Yeah.
It's just it relies a little too much on the physical gross out factor for it to actually be grimdark. For me, grimdark is more the tone and the physical mind or the mental mindset of these characters rather than just blood and gore. You know what I mean? They're two separate things. There can be blood and gore in grimdark, but there has to be more of the other as well.
Yeah.
yeah.
So
And-
what the? Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I'll just say to Pete's question, I don't mind meandering if it's a series and they're going to come to it later. If there's a point to it. If the world building for the sake of the series or the trilogy or whatever it is, then I don't mind it too much. But if it's just kind of showing off, then if it's well done, I don't mind it. But it's not very often that's well done.
Pete's comment's been here forever, and I've just not read it. How do y'all feel about meandering books? Like if the book kind of takes random turns to things that I'm okay with that, honestly. Like I like a good little side tangent as long as it goes back to the original plot, the story.
I always played all the side quests in Skyrim, so
Exactly. Well, all the side quests. I mean, it takes forever. But I did the same thing in like Mass Effect and Dragon Age. Like RPGs, I love going off on the side quests. Witcher 3 had tons of them. I put 150 hours into Witcher 3.
Yeah, I'm super plot driven, so I don't really mind. It's when I start thinking like this is too much, it's just not well done. Otherwise, I just like being with a character. If a character is well developed, I don't mind if I'm just following him, cleaning his house, or anything like that. I just like being with him. But if the character isn't well developed, and then you try to do stuff like that, and you don't really have a connection with them yet, that's when it starts to get a little bit tedious.
See, and that's my thing with Name of the Wind. I never forged a connection with Kavoth. I was never drawn in.
It's been a while since I've read it. I think 10 years at this point. The Wise Man's Fear just came out when I picked up No, it wasn't out yet, so it's been a while. I should probably reread it. And then for JB's question, I probably wouldn't pick it up unless somebody that I know personally tells me that I'm going to like it. Just because there's so many amazing books that I don't really have the time to take on something that I think will be a big risk.
For me, it depends on why the book got slammed. Like, did the author do something and that's why the book's getting slammed, or is the book just bad?
Well, the problem with Breach of Peace is that he was going through and commenting on all the reviews, which that's fine, but there are some reviews that they were more negative than positive, and he was... I don't think he meant ill towards them, but it was kind of along the lines of grilling them, like, why did you give my book this rating?
Oh,
like,
I
why
didn't
is
know
it so
about that. I thought it was... I didn't think it was all that. I don't know.
I think.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not...
To be honest, and this might not be very smart to say, but in the case of Daniel Green, I'm not really a big fan that he comments on everything, because as a booktuber, he is very influential, and it might drive some people to be positive when they are not. And that's like, you had the whole author going into reviewer spaces discussion, and I think that for a normal author, that's fine because you have those two planes. But with Daniel Green being a booktuber, it's a little bit iffy, especially if he then really looks up all of the reviews. That you watch them, that's fine, but that you look them up and then leave a review, a comment, I don't know, I don't really like that. And I think that's why his book was reviewed so many times. I can understand that, but yeah, I wouldn't do that if I were him.
I don't know. It's a dangerous conversation.
It is. But this
is a chill hangout.
Oh well, I mean, we're just talking. I mean,
yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah, we're talking. We're not fighting. I'll put my knives away. I promise.
I personally, I don't care. I would let anybody comment on my stuff as long as they're polite about it.
Yeah, I didn't follow the whole thing, so I don't really know what happened, but I can't see it. I can't see it influencing.
JB agreed with Epic on something. Hold on.
Reviews.
Yeah.
JB, when a book is in, I need to know why it's getting slammed. Andrew said it. What did I? Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. Sorry. My brain was playing catch up with what my mouth said.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm trying to focus like on this and not the comments.
I'm trying to do both.
It's difficult for me. Mm-hmm. So if I miss anything, I'm just not used to having a lot of comments here.
Sorry, that's kind of my fault.
I'm glad you did it, Andrew. Putting it on all Discords.
Yeah, I network like no manana. And actually some of that's Leslie's fault, which I love Leslie. She makes me come out of my shell. She was like, you need to be on Instagram. I was like, I don't want to be on Instagram. She's like, well, fine, but you're going to be on Instagram. I was like, okay. And then like, she's like, you should probably get on Twitter. And I was just like, but I don't like social media. She's like, no, it's fun. You can like literally limit it to like authors and other booktubers depending on who you follow and stuff like that. I'm like, okay, yeah, fine. And like, within like 2 days of joining Twitter, I won a book giveaway. So that was fun. Where did I put it? It's over here.
I don't get Instagram. I don't know. Like Bookstagram. I don't get it. But
I have one.
But yeah, I don't really use it. Just the stories to say like, I have a new video, and then it goes away after 24 hours.
I go talk to my sister-in-law. I'm like, how do I do this? Do the thing for me. Teach me your ways.
Sometimes I just feel too spread thin over social medias.
That's nice
I got
cover.
Paladin Unbounded by Jeffrey Spite.
nice.
And he personalized it for me, which is really cool,
that's
and
cool.
signed it. It's pretty thin, but the art looks really cool. I'm excited to get to it.
I agree. Actually, I think I don't join a bunch of different social medias because I just don't have the time to keep up with all of it. And
it's a lot of work.
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
It is.
Yeah, it is. Running a Discord server is a lot of help too.
Yeah,
there's
yours
a
is
lot.
pretty busy as well. Mine has like 30 people, so I can keep track.
You have a Discord?
Yes, but I don't really. I don't think so, Andrew, because I haven't heard you talk before.
I
So
think you are. I think I've seen your videos there.
well, I can very easily look at the list because it's not that long. I don't think so.
I think I have like 5 in mine.
Well, it's cozy.
Yeah, it's cozy.
I like the smaller Discords as well. Both has its benefits, I suppose.
No, I lie. There's a little bit more, but we don't really use it unless we're doing the 24-hour read-a-thon thing.
Mine's up to, I think, around 140 users.
That's not as easy to follow anymore.
Yeah, I can't keep up.
Actually, let's see, 135 plus 12 plus 6 plus 17. So probably closer to 160, 170.
I will say, Andrew, that your Discord is one of the most positive and
Man, I love my Discord
servers.
I love everybody in my server. We've got nothing but great people in there. I've had no issues. I've never had to ban anybody. I've never had to. Literally, the biggest slap on the hand is, hey, that just doesn't go in this channel. That's the worst we've had to do. It's just awesome. And we've maybe had like 2 instances of that. I mean, but I've been guilty of like in other servers where people go, hey, that doesn't go here. I was like, oh, sorry, I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah,
and then I just move it. Yeah, I love my community, and I run it with Nico. Honestly, like it's funny from where the Discord started. It literally started as a place to do a buddy read for American Gods, between Rose K Reads and Nico, and then like I jumped in. I think I was like the 3rd or 4th user to jump into that server, and from there we just took off. And then when I finally started my channel, and everyone was like, "Are you going to start a server?" I was like, "I don't want to go anywhere." And so Nico was like, "Hey, you want to rebrand it like a Wizardly Duo thing?" Because I'm always doing my wizard hat or my wizarding hour jokes and stuff like that. And I was like, "Yeah, sure." And so, I mean, since we started doing that, we've got I think 5 moderators now, and Walker is an additional admin in the Discord as well. So it's just fantastic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's definitely fun to run it together, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
With Safina's question, so I usually don't DNF. I wanted to finish all the books that I started, but then lately I've been doing it more and more. So I think I DNF'd 3 books this year. One is the Golden Wolf Saga, which is basically a series that I DNF'd, which is historical fiction. And a lot of people love it. I was really surprised by that, because honestly, I thought that the writing style wasn't good. And that was my biggest problem with it. And then so many people really enjoyed that one, that maybe I should give the second one a chance, but I don't think I ever will. I still have them, but it's like one of those things, if the first book isn't good, are you ever going to pick up the second one when you have so many other books that you want to read first? So, no. And then Wheel of Time I DNF'd. And Skullthorn, which still hurts my soul, by Brian Staveley, because that was a 5-star prediction. So that hurts a lot.
Really, Patrick loves that one. He says it's better than the original trilogy.
I know, but I think I just didn't love the main character that much, and I thought that the premise in itself is pretty strange. It's on the back of the book, so I suppose I can say it's just about somebody who worships the goddess of death, and then she needs to pass her final trial, which it's like a poem of each person that she needs to kill within 14 days. And one of it is she needs to kill the person she loves, but she's never loved somebody before. So she has 14 days to fall in love and then kill that person. But the way she goes about it is so unlogical. It's like there are easier ways to try to fall in love than it's like political intrigue and all of those things, and it just didn't make sense for me. The writing style is amazing. It's beautiful, and it's also true for the original trilogy. So that was fine. Just the story didn't interest me at all.
Are you picking up Staveley's sequel?
Yeah, I had it pre-ordered, so I have it, and I think that one I will like more because you have some of at least one character of the original trilogy that comes back.
And she was like 140 years after the fact or something.
If that's the case, well, I know for a fact because she's on the cover, and I heard a lot of people say that they were happy that she came back. So I think that it's more like 5 years after.
Maybe
but I am
just wrong.
Or some crazy things have happened. in between.
Yeah, I've DNF'd a couple series today, or not today, this year, but I, for the life of me, couldn't tell you what. I know I DNF'd 5 Warrior Angels by Brian Lee Durfee. I finished The Forgetting Moon, but that was because of the Olympics readathon. And literally I was using it for my team prompt, which was double points, and it was like over the page count that I needed to get additional points, and so I just pushed through it. I've DNF'd books, but I'm not sure exactly what they are.
I have to agree. Like I know I'm sure I've DNF'd a couple of books this year, but I don't know. Like there was one that was making me really angry, but it was only 96 pages, so I went ahead and finished it. It was some stupid romance. But it's like if it's something larger than that, and it's like Dragon Republic, I tried listening to it and it wasn't working for me. I tried reading it and I just wasn't getting into it. It's not because it was bad. I couldn't get in the zone. So I'd say probably.
I did DNF Poppy War.
The first one already, or the series?
Oh no, I finished the first one, but it was because it was like the Discord's first read along, and so me and Nico felt obligated to finish it, and we both hated it. We both absolutely. I think we both gave it like 1 or 2 stars.
That's harsh.
So my issue with the Poppy War, just very vaguely, was that the world and the history was really great. But because it was tied so closely to Asian history and mythology and stuff like that, and I've been to China, I've been to Taiwan, my wife is Asian, so like, and the author is Asian, but like because she took these time periods and mixed them, the main character is peasant class. And in any Asian society in the last 100 years, the way she acted, she'd have been killed right out of the gate. Like, nobody cares about you. And the fact that she walked up and literally disrespected nobles and commanding officers and all of that, it wouldn't fly. On top of that fact, like, I didn't like the main character at all. And I didn't enjoy... It felt like the world and the tone was grimdark, but like it felt like Rin had been lifted from a YA book and stuck in a grimdark novel. She didn't act correct. What I felt matched the setting and the tone, because you've got all of these really important historical issues that, like, a lot of the war and stuff is pulled from actual Asian history, and she's just acting like a damn child. And I'm sorry, one of my biggest issues, and this is stupid, it's a stupid issue, saltpeter isn't explosive. Not on its own.
I never really saw that in the text, so maybe I should go back, because that's something that I should have seen.
Yeah, who is it? It's because it's like they have that odd squad kind of thing going on by the end of the book. And there's one specific person, he's like a kid, but he doesn't really have any abilities except for making explosives. But I remember that part where like he's like stealing a bunch of saltpeter, like because he's gonna blow stuff up. And
like, saltpeter is a component of explosives. Basically, the opposing army brings in a wagon of saltpeter and lets it off. There's one problem with that. It's not explosive.
I mean, it is a fantasy book.
we need logic here, okay?
But I do understand that, yeah, one of the things that it didn't really feel like grimdark, and I finished the entire trilogy. There were grimdark things happening, but because of the characters, and indeed that they do act a little bit young at times, it didn't really feel like grimdark. But I do think that it gets better because in the first book, that was one of my main complaints as well, that you have like that cast of very young characters who are given very serious tasks for their age. I didn't really like that with the tone. It didn't really, it clashed a little bit. But I do think that gets better in the second and third book.
Yeah, I agree.
just have no motivation to pick it up, and I don't know why. It's just like there's so many books that I want to get to before I even begin continuing the series.
Patrick is coming with the facts.
Potassium nitrate.
Books need fact checks,
Especially fantasy books.
especially fantasy books.
The equivalent to my.
Skywalker is like Star Wars, right? I'm really terrible at those things.
Yes.
Yeah, I think so.
Star Trek all the way.
Yes,
Yeah.
true. That's why I actually like that one quite a bit. The beginning was just too much military fantasy for me that I don't really care for that much, but the second half I thought was very good.
I thought the second book was really well done, but if I wasn't reading the Poppy War for a group read, I probably would have DNF'd it. But reading the second and third book, I did see why she made the choices she did on the first and second book. I wasn't a big fan of the first one, but I understand why she made those decisions. So
You would have probably DNF'd it like at the halfway point, I suppose, or maybe even
Yeah.
sooner.
halfway, I probably would have DNF'd it. But there's a few books that I would have DNF'd this year that I didn't. The only one I've DNF'd is Gardens of the Moon, and I plan to come back to that eventually. That's
Yeah,
the one
I really
DNF'd.
want to get to that series as well. But it scares me a little bit because I DNF'd Wheel of Time, making me think, should I try Malazan? Or I've heard so many great things, but I don't know if I have the headspace at the moment.
Yeah, it's a
He
lot.
loves Malazan. Is that who asked, or is it Stacy? Oh.
No, we were
Um,
talking. I was just saying I DNF'd Gardens of the Moon.
Ooh, Gardens of the Moon started out as a script for a movie, and then it was later converted. They couldn't sell it, and so they converted it to a book. And then, like, also additionally from that, it was a script written from a D&D campaign that doesn't follow their player characters at all. Like I think Kruppa, or Kruppa, one of the characters was one of the player characters, but he like barely shows up in the book. So like they actually built up the NPCs and then like have the player characters doing stuff there.
Interesting. I didn't know that. Interesting.
Yeah. And then when you get to Dead House Gates and Memories of Ice, what was really weird, and I think I'm remembering this correctly, Memories of Ice was supposed to be book 2, and then Erickson's hard drive got corrupted and he lost the book. So when that happened, he went and wrote Dead House Gates, which takes place on another continent, and it's basically a split the party at the end of Dead House Gates, or not at the end of Gardens of the Moon, and it follows that group. And then the other half went on to do Memories of Ice, so those two were happening concurrently on separate continents. So then after Dead House Gates came out, he went back and rewrote Memories of Ice.
Oh, interesting. I know that.
I didn't like Memories of Ice, and so currently the series is in the timeout corner. And I'll get to House of Chains eventually.
Black
Black
Prism.
Prism.
That's the Lightbringer one, right?
Oh, that's Brent Weeks.
That's the Brent Weeks.
right?
Yeah.
Oh, maybe I'll stay away from it then.
I have it on my TBR, but I just like the fact that it's like elemental magic in a way. I think that's kind of what it is.
Yes, back up.
Yeah, back up.
I would have cried, and I wouldn't have come out of my apartment for days, months.
I would just stop. I wouldn't
Yeah.
really write the whole thing.
Well, that's it. I'm not reading anymore.
I'm done.
Yeah.
Oh, Miss Rancelette is here! Yay! Sorry, I got excited. Yes, it's in the timeout corner. I was going to read House of Chains last month, and then I just punted it off my TBR. I was just looking at it going on. Because I spend half of each Malazan book angry. And then, like, it clicks with me all of a sudden, because it's so grand in scope that then... Yeah. I don't know. Don't tell Nico, but Crown of Stars is in the timeout corner right now. not for bad behavior. I just can't fit it into my TBR. Which, yeah, I think Yolian would like Crown of Stars by Kate Elliott. It's got really nice prose, but it follows. It's almost like a medieval church type fantasy magic system.
I have the first one, so.
Oh, so you have King's Dragon?
Yeah, I think so. It's the first one in that, right? It has like a white horse on it. Yeah.
Yes. It is definitely a really good series. Well, a really good first book. I've only read the first one. But Nico seems to really like it.
So it's either I DNF it or I read it. But well, a timeout corner is just that you're putting the series on hold because you don't have time to continue it. Oh, then
yeah, literally, I just can't slot it into the TBR due to putty reads, or for the fact that I just have other books I want to read more. These 6 books right here, I have been wanting to read since I started my channel. And it is agonizing me that I can't.
What is it?
You need to make it happen.
Let's move No Face. Soul Keeper by David Dalkish.
What's the genre?
It's just straight up fantasy. At least that's what it says on the spine. And then Emperor's Blades by Brian Stapley.
You still have Skullsworn on your TBR, right, Steve?
Yeah, I want to get to Emperor's Blade too. I was going to read Skullsworn with you. I just couldn't keep up. So, but it didn't work out. So,
if you pick it up, I might try to just finish it because I only have 150 pages left. So it would make me feel better if I finish it.
I need to read this one too.
Same, Lycanius trilogy. That's been on my TBR for a year now as well.
Yeah.
Maybe December, Yulene?
We can make that work. Yeah. Put it
I
in
believe
the
this is Macallan 18-year cask, I believe, or 12-year cask.
Is that whiskey?
Yeah.
I'm not really.
It is quite good. I don't drink beer anymore, so I switched to whiskey.
Yeah, I switched to bourbon.
Yeah.
And then I've got these 2 that I need to read as well.
Yeah, I need to read those
nice
too.
covers.
These are their like hardcover editions of the Obsidian Path. I love them.
Who is the author of those?
Fletcher.
Ah, okay.
Oh.
The guy's going to be on your. The guy's going to be on your channel, Yulene.
But Blackstone Heart has a different cover here. That's why I didn't recognize it.
Yeah, it's really cool.
I was in Slowly Red's Discord, and because Fletcher's in there, and he was talking about, he's like, I got these puppies locked and loaded, and I like zoomed in, and I was just like, are those hardcovers? And he's like, yeah. I was like, I'm buying them. I haven't even read any of your books, and I'm buying them.
Yeah, they're really pretty.
Oh, Beyond Redemption is great.
Yeah, I've heard that. I've got Beyond Redemption, I think, on audio. I've got so many on audio. I'm going to see if my baby's still crying at my wife.
Patrick, you didn't ask me, but I'm going to tell you anyways. I have margarita wine.
Margarita wine?
It's gone quiet. So we're good.
It's actually the same bottle that I've had for the last month and a half. I don't know. Andrew, you remember this, right?
Yeah, I thought you had necked that in one go.
No, heck no. I only drink on lives for some reason. I have no idea.
Yeah, I remember meeting you. I think it was on the reading sprint. And you were just.
Yeah, I was like, I got a glass this time though. Look, it's fine.
Fancy.
Yeah. Here I am not having alcohol. Maybe later tonight. When I'm reading Senlin Ascends. I like Senlin. It's just not what I expected it to be.
If you guys had to recommend me one book, what would it be?
Aching God by Mike Shell.
I'm gonna get to it.
We're doing that next month.
Yep.
Or this month. Wait.
But if it's one that you're probably not getting to, I would probably recommend either Daniel Barnett, because I love Daniel Barnett. He's an awesome indie author. They're really short novellas, really easy to fit into the TBR.
Oh, the Nightmare Land?
Yeah, the Nightmare Land Chronicles. Or it would be Discworld. I love Discworld.
Quick
Oh,
question: what is black and tan?
It's like
I
a
don't drink
beer
alcohol.
and
Yingling? No.
yeah,
you can
it's
use
like a Yingling beer and something else, or is it two different types of beer together?
you can use Bass or a Pilsner and a stout, basically.
Yes, it's two different types of beer. It's a light beer and a dark beer mixed together.
Ah, okay.
You can, if you have somebody who knows what they're doing to pour it, it'll be the top will be black and the bottom will be
That's nice.
Pilsner. So
Don't
that's
you
pretty
use like
neat.
a spoon? Or
Yeah,
something
you
like
have to use a
that?
spoon and pour it really slowly, and then it separates. It's pretty cool. I used to drink those. Pilsner and Porter, yeah. I used to get mine with Guinness, but yeah.
Selling in a Sense is one of those series that I think is going to be super unique, but I won't like it. But everybody says that it's so amazing that I need to give it a try probably someday.
It reminds me a lot of like 1930s, like I almost said Constantinople, which is wrong. So it reminds me a lot like the world setting in like Raiders of the Lost Ark and stuff like that. And so like he's this school teacher from like Britain who's just come on over. These are just comparisons. But I have basic issues to where like the way the tower is, like he's got like textbooks about the tower. None of it's correct. And the tower is still a thing. And so like he's discovering all this stuff. He's like, this isn't what I thought it would be. And I'm like, I find it so hard to believe that the way the tower is didn't get leaked by anybody to the outside world.
Everything except for no, everything. Yeah, that's about right. Yeah. I've read
Istanbul.
Westerns.
There we go. Istanbul was what I wanted to say.
I have really bad mood reading tendencies. Like right now I'm reading fantasy, but as I said earlier, I'm also reading a romance, so I go back and forth between that. I think the only one that I don't really dabble in is science fiction, which I do want to get into that more.
The Expanse.
I did read Skyward by Brandon Sanderson. So like I started off really easy. No, come on, that was super easy.
Take a drink.
But like reading JB's Unplugged, it just got me right in the feels because I'm a really big Matrix fan, and reading that, like, oh man, that was so good. It just hit right on the spot. So I'm interested in getting into more.
I like The Expanse right now. I'm actually I just finished the second book last week, and I really, really enjoyed it. I thought the dialogue was a huge improvement. I know who doesn't agree. I think it's
Sphere is
who
excellent.
doesn't agree with me.
Isn't
Michael-
it like a classic?
Sphere?
Or yeah, Michael.
It's like in the
It's
90s.
classic-ish.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's a really good book.
That's
Sphere
the
is
same
a
author that did Jurassic Park.
Yeah, Michael Crichton.
All right, noted. Thank you.
I never saw the movie, but I read the book. It's really, really good.
Of what?
Man.
Jurassic
Sphere?
Park? Oh, okay.
Sphere. Yeah.
I was worried for you, Steve.
No. I've talked about Jurassic Park many, many times.
I have a
So
friend.
Stacy's shocked I didn't talk about Red Rising, and that's because Red Rising is a mixed bag.
Yeah.
So the first book I like the first book. I don't love the first book, but the first book is just basically acts as a prologue for the original trilogy. It's all set up for the other two books. It's literally all it does is introduce you to the characters, the grudges, and then kind of set that off and like what the whole point is. And a lot of people call it basically Hunger Games in space.
Yeah.
And that's because they're dumped on a field and they have to go kill each other to win. But yeah, so it's very, 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 very close to Hunger Games.
It's not
The second
YA,
book,
is it?
no, it's not YA.
Okay.
But the second book is a complete like tonal shift, and it's just this wild ride. But then like the second and third books of the trilogy are really good, and then it shifts when you go to Iron Gold, to the point where it introduces multiple POVs when you're not used to it, and also like some of those POVs aren't enjoyable to read. And then Dark Age, I haven't read Dark Age yet, but literally some people say that it's just dark for darkness sake. So I was planning on like swapping Howling Dark with Dark Age. We'll see what happens. I had a very strong knee-jerk reaction when I started Sun Eater 2 this last week in my Discord. I was angry. I don't, if you're going to drop me in confusion, do it in book 1. Don't do it in book 2.
I agree.
And so, yeah, like Dark Age is just dark as hell from what I've heard. Like some people say it's a little too dark. So it's like a tonal shift for the series. So it's a really mixed bag, which is why I don't always recommend it. I recommended it to my boss, who's another big fantasy sci-fi reader. Literally the only person I know in real life other than my buddy Dan from high school, and I just got him reading again. And my boss spite read it and then looked at me and said, "Why did you make me read this?"
Well, you see.
You see, I enjoyed it. And so I thought you would. And apparently I was wrong.
I have a feeling I'm going to start Red Rising and finish it, but I'm going to get to it with how I was with the Poppy War. So I'll finish the first book, but then I won't move on to the second. I'll just end it there.
You can read the first trilogy as its own self-contained story.
At this point, I would advise that. But I'm at the same as you. So I finished Iron Gold. Still need to get to Dark Age. Mm-hmm. I didn't like Iron Gold that much. It was like Red Rising I didn't enjoy. And I think, for instance, Steve would probably have the same feelings as he had with the Poppy War. That it feels a little bit YA. Definitely some dark things are happening. But it's like the Hunger Games. A lot of dark things are happening, but it's still with very young characters. And they are not that well developed. I had a very big problem with Darrow's character in the first one. Mm-hmm. So Steve would probably DNF that one. And I'm a little bit...
You guys know me too well.
When I did the vlog of the first one, I was very harsh about that. And some people have told me, I put it off my TBR because of that. And then I picked up Golden Sun. And Steve, I'm sorry, but Golden Sun is amazing, in my opinion. Bailey is still liking it, but he's not liking it as much as me. It's one of my favorite books that I picked up. And maybe it is because I had very low expectations after the first one. But I think the second and the third one are a completely shift of tone and a lot better. Like twist after twist, it's not predictable at all. But then the fourth one, I had a problem with, like Andrew said, the multiple POVs. Just because you already know
Lysander's not a good POV.
Who?
Lysander.
He's not. But it's like you know Darrow and you already have a connection with Darrow, and multiple POVs is always a little bit tricky because you're not going to be interested in all of them. But if one of them you already have a connection and everything else is new, I had trouble with that. Plus the audiobook, and maybe that's a problem with my version, but each chapter, like if it went to Lysander, all of a sudden it was really quiet. So I was sitting in my car and I couldn't hear it, so I had to drive it up. And then the next chapter was extremely loud. So I couldn't really feel connected with it at all. So I want to see what Dark Age is about, but at this point, I would say read the original trilogy and be happy with that.
I am staying away from Red Rising. I've been burned too many times with the hype train, and I am not interested.
Honestly, you could read, and I feel bad, but this is literally for you, Steve, not anybody watching. You could read Golden Sun and Morningstar and be fine. You don't actually need Red Rising because all of the characters... you'll be a little confused starting out, but the grudges are explained. It's pretty easy grudges to figure out. And the big grudge is between two of the two characters, and he'll literally tell you why he hates him. Like every time Darrow walks up and goes, "Why do you hate me?" Well, this is why I hate you. So it's not super deep. It doesn't, because Red Rising is so shallow. I don't know how else to say that. It's not a universally loved book. Most people don't like Red Rising but they love Golden Sun, and so you can get into Golden Sun. Actually, no, you are informed very early in Golden Sun as to what the main issue is. So, and literally any points you don't get, you could just ask me or Jolene, and we would tell you, hey, this is what's happening, and then it would make perfect sense.
Yeah, I think if you just read the synopsis of the first one and you know how the Hunger Game goes, then
You're good to go.
Are you trying to convince me to read it, Yulene? Because it's not.
Yeah, Golden Sun at least, yes.
It's a short book. Red Rising is not that long compared to the other ones in the series. But then again, I don't know how, like, the word
I've got
flow
the
is.
UK paperback, and that one is 442 pages for Golden Sun.
See, mine's tiny. Oh, it's
It's
for
not
Golden Sun. Yeah.
I
not
think
bad at
Red
all.
Rising is below 400. I think like 350 maybe.
I've got them to hand, so it is below 400. Red Rising is 382
Oh,
on
it's
the
not
UK
bad.
paperback. Which
Yeah,
I like
there's
the UK
something-
paperbacks more than I like the American ones. The American ones look stupid.
Stupid.
They got dumb spines.
JB, if you're talking about your book, yes, I'm obsessed. I'm not being nice. I just like it a lot.
I need to get JB's book. I missed it.
I still haven't read it yet, but it's one because all of you like it so much.
It's sci-fi, right?
hmm
Okay. How long is it?
Dystopian, right, Ashley?
It's not that long. Well, at least I read it on Kindle, so it flew by for me. But yeah, it's sci-fi. It's a lot. It reminded me a lot like of Matrix. But like just that dystopian kind of thing. I mean, have y'all read the synopsis or?
I think I've read it one or two times. The synopsis one or two times. I think Raul did something with it as well.
Well, let me remind you, please. Okay. So what happens is that Zendaya is plugged into this virtual reality and she's stuck there. They're all prisoners. And then she unplugs essentially and does stuff in the dystopian world, which is like rife with monsters and robots. It's, yeah. I probably did a terrible job, but yeah, that's the gist.
Well, I'm sold.
You're
That was
welcome.
easy.
I'll probably pick it up on ebook here soon.
We should name it Book of the Month in January.
I mean, it went by really quickly, and I don't know. I didn't go into it expecting anything. Like, I was just like, okay, I'm going to give it a try. Everybody's talking about it, and then it just sucked me in. I don't know. It might be for the fact that the main character is named after a famous actress that I like. I don't know. We don't know. So,
Okay, what actress is that?
Zendaya?
Oh, from like Spider-Man and stuff.
Yeah. Oh, I'm stuck.
It's a great face, by the way.
I thought you were doing that on purpose. I was like, wow, that's pretty impressive.
My camera must have died. What the heck?
I will have the same problem in like 10 minutes probably.
Yulene, I know it's late for you, so if you have to go, just let us know.
Yeah, my husband is sleeping at the moment.
Yeah.
He like came in like, bye.
I'm back.
Bye.
Bye.
So it's and we know
How
it's
old
late
is
for
that
you,
Minnie
Yulene.
Mouse?
Yeah.
Or is that Mickey Mouse?
No, it's
Behind
Minnie
you.
Mouse. Hold on, I want to see if this works. No. Okay, yeah, my camera died. I got it last year, the year before that. It's Minnie Mouse. It's a scarecrow. You can't see anything still.
It's frozen.
Can
You
you
always
hear
get
me?
Frozen on the best faces. Love it.
Screenshot.
Screenshot. It's a meme. Ha! JB. Ha! You're funny.
I was gonna make the joke that I was gonna get a permanent marker and draw a mustache on you, but that's all that's gonna do is ruin my monitor, my screen.
Maybe if I stop cam. Oh, look, there's my baby.
Oh, Bobby.
Oh, puppy! Is that a shepherd?
No, Belgian
Malinois?
Malinois.
Say that again. Oh, she's gone.
Malinois.
Melon. I've never heard of that.
It's a type of
shepherd.
shepherd, I think,
Yeah.
but yeah, with short hair.
Yeah.
And if
Belgian.
Pete wants to go back to Scrolls, that would help with his book collection. Because if you've all seen Pete's collection, Scrolls would help clean that up.
The shade.
Just get scroll cases.
It would look pretty badass if you have
It
a
would,
fancy
wouldn't
collection full of scrolls.
But would they be paper, vellum, papyrus? Who knows?
Hmm.
Who knows? Has anybody read Rift War?
No.
I am starting The Magician this month. I'm
I'll
starting
get to
the
it
other.
eventually. I've had it for 5 months.
Yulene, Epic, and John are good with pushing Wrath, so we'll pick another
Oh,
day.
that sounds good. Okay. Little bit of breathing space this month.
Yeah, we'll pick another
Nice.
day, middle of September. So, Yulene, we know it's late for you, so if you have to go, just let us know.
Yeah, I think I'm not going to be able to keep awake for too long.
Okay.
It happens.
Well, thanks for hosting us. It's always fun to do the Just Because.
Yeah, this was
She's
fun.
back to say hi.
She's back with.
That wasn't-
yeah, now I can tell that's Minnie.
That
I
wasn't
couldn't
nice.
see the eyelashes with it behind you. Because Mickey doesn't have eyelashes.
No, he doesn't. Yeah, I like it. I'm ready for fall. I'm hoping if I put my fall stuff out that it'll hurry up and be fall. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, so we were actually just saying that I'm going to go to sleep
Yeah.
because
Okay.
Thanks, everybody, for dropping by.
yeah, thanks for
Yeah,
dropping by. It
thanks.
was
This
nice.
was a lot of
My
fun.
first Just Because was a lot of
Yeah.
fun.
It's awesome.
Bye everyone.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye.
Bye. See you
Bye.
later.